Alright, welcome back to episode 5 of Grisaia no Kajistu. Last time we left off, we were with Amane heading to the store. So yeah, let's just get right back into it. Type A throws anything that catches her eye into her cart, whether or not she actually has any need for it. Type B deliberates endlessly over cost efficiency, even when she has a pressing need, and ends up buying nothing. My impression of the woman named Amane, probably influenced by her large build, was that she was likely the careless sort who'd follow the former pattern. But apparently, I'm not much of a judge for these things. Okay, shall we hit the greengrocer next? Did I forget the voice that I did for all of them? What, you're still buying? If you need vegetables, why didn't you just get them at the supermarket just now? Because the greengrocer in the shopping district is cheaper than the supermarket. I understand in theory that specialty shops are better than general retailers, but as the one being dragged along, changing stores this rapidly is a serious nuisance. Because Amane mentioned she wanted to buy oolong tea, I'd reached out for a 2-liter 158 yen bottle at the supermarket, only to have her slap my hand lightly away. In her words, don't buy that here, get tea packs at the drugstore and you can make 52 liters for 480 yen or something. And so I ended up following her to the drugstore as well. Excuse me, some carrots and onions please. Oh, if it isn't Amane-chan, you're cute as always. Aren't I? How about a little bonus? I won't tell the wife. God, I can't beat Amane-chan. Alright, I'll throw in a pack of strawberries. Yeah, I'm so happy. Really? This deal's just for Amane-chan, so don't tell anyone, okay? You're the best. Makino really loves strawberries, you know. Come to mention it, Makibo isn't with you today. What's up? I brought rice today, so I brought along a tough luggage boy. Huh? Growling, the dirty old greengrocer sizes me up with a blatant scowl on his face. What's with this guy? I don't like the look of his face. Don't be mean, he's my little brother. Oh, brother? What, your brother? Here was thinking Amane-chan started dating some worthless bum. Look at me jumping to conclusions. God, what a jerk, dude. I'm not sure what's so funny, but the greengrocer cackles heartily as he stares into my face. Hey, kid, what's your name? Yūji. Ah, Yūji, is it? Not a bad name. Good job helping your big sister out. Alright, I'll give you strawberries too, so eat them. You're not getting enough vitamins, that's why you've got a face like a murderer. They're brand name strawberries from Tochigi, you know? Eat, thank you. I smile and lower my head in a slight bow, prompting the old man to shout, What, you can smile after all? In an even louder voice. Okay then, thanks again. Yeah, come back soon. I've got more freebies waiting. You too, Yūji. Of course, thank you. Can you quit it with that face? What are you talking about? That crappy excuse for a smile. It looks like a face someone taught you to make. You're strangely perceptive at times. Look, you lie with your face like that sometimes, don't you? Run in your family or something? Fake smiles are an expression of consideration for others. You want me to scowl instead? Then at least smile a little more believably. It's completely blatant. I was taught that children's smiles and women's tears are weapons, but this is the first time my own emotional front was penetrated like this. I may have been underestimating this woman. And now you're making that scary face again. That's why Makina's terrified of you, you know. I was born with this face. So was your sister born with that face as well? My sister was... yeah, well, in her case... she always had the sleepy expression. Oh, that's so. Bring up his dead sister, Christ. Why bring up my sister there? Just came to mind. More importantly, are we finished with the shopping yet? Just have to pick up silken tofu and shirataki noodles from the tofu store. We're still not done? Bring up his dead sister, that's wild. Just carrying rice, so I'd been promised when I agreed to the shopping expedition, but in the end, I ended up following her around for a good 2 hours. Thanks for helping me with the shopping. You were a big help. As she speaks, Amane is packing away the ingredients she purchased, for some reason, into my refrigerator. I usually go with Makina, but when I'm shopping with her, we tend to get sidetracked at the candy counter or toy stores or whatever, so it takes a little while longer. It's not a problem, but mind if I ask you something? Why are you putting that stuff in the fridge in my room? I already told you, the fridge in here is the biggest one. That's not an answer to the question. Come on, it's not like you're putting it to good use now, are you? Here, I'll give you a strawberry. That's from the pack that old man the greengrocers gave to me. You got it because I was there. I'll let you drink the milk in the fridge, okay? What a nice lady. It's not that I particularly care about her using the fridge, but her barging in here every time she needs to get something would be a pain in the ass. I know, and thanks for today. How about I make you dinner? I've already cooked rice and I've got canned food for the side dishes, so I'll pass. Canned food? That sounds pretty miserable. And the rice? You don't even have a cooker in here, so how are you preparing it? Using that over there. I point towards a cylindrical mess kit style rice cooker made of aluminum, currently towering over the IH cooking heater in my kitchen. You're cooking it with a mess kit? IH heaters can't quite manage aluminum, so I've been using a gasoline stove I've had with me instead. Quite the survivalist. You have that stuff lying around? Well, using a gas stove inside probably isn't the best idea either. Like, people die from that, so... Yeah. It's only normal for a man to have a stove or two. Normal for a man is probably an overstatement, but it's standard equipment for a backpacker at least. Ideally, you'd want one that can use the unleaded gasoline you get from gas stations. In that case, why don't you bring what you've made to my room? Nothing but canned food for side dishes is pretty sad, don't you think? I'm making Makina's helping anyway, so let's eat together. No, I'll pass. What a jerk, dude. Why? Don't worry, I'm actually quite good at cooking. Makina would be there, wouldn't she? Ah, right. Makina's still scared of you, isn't she? Exactly. I think it'd be better if I wasn't there. How about using this as a chance to become friends? It's not going to happen that fast, and if I go out of my way to eat quietly, she'll end up feeling even more uncomfortable. I'll pass after all. Well, I guess I'll give up on tonight, but once Makina warms up to you, I can make you dinner whenever you want. You telling me to become friends with her in exchange for food? That's not what I meant, but I really would like you to get along with her. She's actually really bad at making friends, so you should try starting a conversation from your end, Yūji-kun. I don't have anything against her, and I don't want to be on hostile terms, so I'll try to talk to her, but I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to improve things between us, since my personality is what it is. In response to my implied statement, Amane answers, "That's good enough," with her smile. Well, thanks for today. As soon as the words are out of her mouth, Amane briskly leaves the room, but... hey wait, you forgot! The overnight bag packed with Amane's spare clothes is still lying in the center of the room. That woman, she isn't planning to change in my room again, is she? More to the point, I'm sure I locked this door when I left this morning. How did she even get in here? There aren't any signs of damage to the lock, and I can't imagine she's got a secret talent for lockpicking. Does she have a spare key or something? Suomane. The creatures known as large women are mostly careless, but weirdly attentive to certain details. I feel like that's just an error in translation somehow. Like, you don't refer to people as large women here. There must be a Japanese term for that. I don't know. They possess unusual intuition, as well as pointlessly large breasts, and on the whole, deserve to be handled with caution. God, this is just so weird, the way he just says large women. I don't know, I can't handle it sometimes. No matter what sort of life you're living, you'll run into people who just won't listen to what you have to say. When words don't get through, the easiest alternative is beating them into submission. Certainly a bit of a rough solution, but when you're dealing with another man, it's at least an option. But when you're dealing with a woman, let alone a shrimp of a girl who doesn't come up to your shoulder, it's a different story. If you start swinging your fists around out of irritation under the circumstances, anyone would call it bullying the weak. It's a bad style and will leave an unpleasant aftertaste. What's called for in such situations is perseverance and patience. In the age of rapid scientific progress, I'd like some machine you could stick on your back, throw a switch to Zen-like, and instantly gain infinite self-control. But sadly, despite the market potential for such a device, the world isn't yet such a convenient place. God, I'm struggling with the lines here, Christ. Well, no big deal. Fortunately enough, I'm pretty used to endurance tests. It's been 5 minutes since I spotted Irisu Makina wandering aimlessly around the campus and called out, "What are you up to?" in a casual tone. On the bright side, she reacted to my voice and stopped dead in her tracks instead of fleeing, but beyond that, things haven't gone well. Staring fixedly up at my face, Makina doesn't speak a word. Can you not speak Japanese? Silent as always, Makina shakes her head back and forth in denial, apparently having understood my question. Are you afraid of me, maybe? Her silence continues, and this time there's neither confirmation nor denial. It doesn't seem likely that she didn't understand the question, which would mean this one is in uncertain territory somewhere between yes and no, as far as I can guess. I'm repeating myself, but this sort of communication takes a lot of patience and persistence. I try to consciously consider things from Makina's point of view. A transfer student with an unclear background. What's more, a man 178 centimeters high. From the perspective of Makina, who I'd guess to be around 140 centimeters, it might well be a little intimidating to have me towering above her. For the moment, I crouch down so that my eyes are level with hers. It seemed like you were wandering around the grounds. Are you looking for something? Nope. Makina speaks a single word in a quiet voice and once again shakes her head in denial. Then what are you doing? That's a point of some interest to me, but well, if you get down to her, wherever she is and wherever she's going is her own business, I suppose. I'm not a policeman and I don't have any reason to drag it out of her. In this case, it might be best to find some words to wrap this up cleanly, give her a friendly goodbye, and let this timid creature be on her way. As I reach this conclusion, Makina slowly moves her hand to the rear of her skirt, grabs something with her stubby fingers, and pushes it in front of my eyes. What's this thing? At a glance, the item in Makina's small hand is a toy-like object roughly the size of an egg, with an LCD screen buried in the center. A digital pet. God, it's a Tamagotchi, dude. Oh, what's that? On closer examination, there's some unknown life form or monster, most closely resembling a chick, displayed in blocky pixels on the central LCD. It's definitely Tamagotchi. It seems to be programmed with some cheap animations, about 3 patterns or so. Ah. Come to think of it, I remember reading a news article about this a few years ago. After developing the smallest 3-axis geomagnetism sensor in the world at the time, a certain company fed that technology into a children's electronic toy, which then became an explosive hit among grade schoolers. It's a pedometer, right? One of those things where the pet grows up faster the more you walk? Yeah, that's it. Nodding her head, Makina returns a pedometer in her hand to her waist. In other words, she wasn't looking for anything in particular. Her wandering itself was the objective. Walking's a good thing, since it's aerobic exercise without too much strain on the joints. If you're going to walk anyway, having some sort of visible result from the effort might make it feel more worthwhile. Well, I don't really want to go outside that much. Yeah, very relatable. Makina points at the school gate as she speaks. I see. It makes sense that she'd want to avoid crowded places, given her extreme shyness. That would restrict her strolls to pacing around the school grounds, which would quickly get repetitive. So the digital pet serves as a distraction from that boredom, most likely. You like taking walks? Sorta. Kinda. Sorta it is. Well, walking for fun at this age might be a little odd. It seems more like the hobby of an old man. You have any other interests, like reading for example? Read any books lately? Books? Manga's fine too, whatever. To tell the truth, I'd already heard from Amane that Makina often reads books, and reading is a hobby of mine as well. I think it's a decent common topic for strangers. In response to my question, Makina holds her right index finger to her chin and mumbles, while gazing up at the sky. A quiz book. Quiz, huh? Was it interesting? What's the dangerous sweet that's life-threatening to observe with the naked eye? Dangerous sweet. I don't know. Life-threatening to observe with the naked eye. What kind of deadly weapon is that? And a sweet of all things. Some new tech from the West? Just looking at it is dangerous. God, would mean some variety of optical weapon? Something like an X-ray possessing mass? Or some sort of beam-style light-based killing tool? No, but if just seeing is dangerous, some sort of super weapon that radiates a pulse to the receptors of the eyeball using a flickering pattern to stimulate the brain cells and trigger accelerated apoptosis? Hold it. This thing is a sweet, right? A sweet? What the heck? Where do we go from there? All I'm getting is some sort of chocolate pastry shooting out a mysterious beam of light. Pew pew pew. Don't know, I give up. What's the answer? I feel like I know this. Candy. What? Die? See and die. Oh my god. See and die. Oh, I get it. I missed that angle. Candy. Can I go now? Classic. Yeah, sorry to hold you up. God, these jokes are out of control. Without even a bye or later, Makina leaves the area at a trot, as if fleeing from me. Doesn't seem like she outright hates me, though. Isn't it the opposite? How long have you been there? Since the part about candy, I think. What do you mean by the opposite? Well, you know, her shyness is definitely part of it, but I think Makina's trying not to be disliked by you. Trying to not be disliked? Makina's really a more cheerful girl, but she's often so energetic that it gets on people's nerves, so she's holding back. True enough, I remember seeing her rushing around branching the cicada and cackling that first time. And if that's her normal state, then the way she behaves in front of me would certainly be a product of deliberate self-restraint, but if she's holding back, isn't that proof that she's consciously trying to avoid being hated by you? I think it could be interpreted as simple fear as well. Well, half out of fear does sound about right, but I think that'll be alright. What makes you say that? When you were talking with Makina just now, you squatted down to talk to her face to face, right? That's actually pretty effective. Yeah. When I was a kid, there was a time I'd been surrounded by unfamiliar adults and found myself on the brink of tears. When one of the adults stooped down and talked with me face to face, I immediately got emotionally attached. Looking back, I feel like shouting, "You sure got attached to an outrageous person," or complaining about what an idiot I was, but... Right, I'm pretty tall myself and all, and Makina really didn't talk to me at first. It took me a good month to figure out the trick of bending over when I talked to her. And now she's glued to you, or something like that. Well, she's definitely gotten attached to me, but it's not like we're together constantly. Makina's the type that fundamentally likes to play alone. And the girl's got some pretty fierce mood swings too. Don't take this the wrong way, but if I was with her constantly, I'd get worn down pretty fast. Maybe she's playing by herself because she understands that. I can't explain it too well, but she's kinda like a cat. When she wants your attention, she'll meow and cuddle up to you, but the instant she gets bored, she'll be gone like that. Her hair is all fluffy and curly, her body's flexible and soft, her temperature's high so it's warm when you hug her. She's got that mildly sweet scent. Very cat-like, don't you think? A cat, I see. Well, she might seem a little blunt until she gets used to you, but she's really not a bad kid. Try to make friends. I don't plan to force her to be friends if she doesn't want to, but yeah, I'll try to avoid being hated. If I avoid unnecessary contact, I shouldn't inspire any hatred, or come to hate anyone myself. In exchange, I won't be liked or come to like anyone either. Maintaining an emotional distance among appropriate lines is an essential but extremely difficult aspect of forming efficient interpersonal relationships. It's got down to science. Of course, there are always these careless puppy dog types who will leap in your arms wagging their tails right from the start. What? Are you staring at my face for? Well, just thinking about how beautiful you are. Jeez. Got in the mood for a kiss? Alright, Amane, close your eyes. Okay. Her chest swelling with some ridiculous expectation, Amane closes her eyes and thrusts out her lips as instructed. Moving quickly and silently, I make good my getaway, leaving the girl to her foolishness. What a guy, dude. Hey, where you going? Hi, you tease! I see. Makina may have the right idea. Leaving out later, or goodbye, entirely, and silently running away certainly is less troublesome. Don't take it the wrong way, Amane. It's not that I hate you. I'm just trying to avoid being hated by you. There we go. What a good boy. Read books in a well-lit area. That was the teaching of my masters. At the time, I was accustomed to reading while shut up in a closet or dark room, so these words felt a bit refreshing. Of course, it's not like I'm worried about obeying the teachings of a woman who's already dead, and I'm still not good with direct sunlight. But here I am searching for a bright place with a book in hand anyway. Aren't I adorable? No reason to wander around looking for a sunny place in this shitty heat. Stepping away from the air-conditioned school building, I unfold the school's admission guide pamphlet. On the coded threefold brochure, there's a bird's-eye view illustration of the campus with a mark to the south of the schoolhouse annotated planned site of library construction. Planned site, meaning there isn't a library yet, I guess? Although there is something library-esque on the second floor of the school building, the collection only holds around 200 books. You can apply to have a book stocked if you're after one in particular, and apparently a bookmobile replaces the existing collection every once in a while, but it doesn't seem like it's being used that heavily. In other words, there's no reason to go out of my way to borrow the key to use it. I brought my own books, and there are plenty of well-lit areas besides the library. While casually looking over the pamphlet, I found the words, Rose Garden. This is definitely our principal's doing. A rose garden is absolutely essential for school attended by young maidens. At the entrance ceremony every year, the seniors can pin the roses they grew themselves on the chests of the new students. How beautiful. Or so I can easily imagine a certain woman who doesn't know how to act her age deluding herself. Pretty flowers might calm your mind, but they won't fill your belly. If you've got room to grow them, it'd be better used for an edible plant. Telling her that probably just makes things unpleasant. I'll just have to remember to greet Principal Tachibana with a good day, Oni-sama, next time I see her. A rose garden, eh? I don't have any interest in inedible flowers, but I guess there would be a shade tree or two as well. Imagining myself reading under a tree surrounded by blooming roses brings a smirk to my face. Guided by these silly thoughts, I decide to head towards the rose garden for the first and only time. They called it a rose garden, but not a single one's in bloom. Based on the map, this is definitely the right spot, and there's even a white arch that seems appropriate, but from what I can see, there aren't any roses in flower. Maybe the garden's still a work in progress, or perhaps they're cutting the buds during the summer. Well, not like I came to see roses in the first place, so whatever. Oh, a sleepy girl. That was a surprise. I wasn't expecting anyone else to be here. No, more importantly, what the heck is she doing? Probably sleeping. I approached silently and touched Makina's neck in the area of her carotid artery. She's got a pulse. God, why would you think she's dead? She's just sleeping, dude. On close inspection, she's breathing quietly, so I guess the wicked stepmother, Amani in this case, didn't feed her a poisoned apple. She's sleeping? Wait, this thing is a cat, I think. A large cat is serving as this... God, it is. A large cat is serving as a soundly sleeping Makina's pillow. I'd taken it for a stuffed animal at first glance. It sure looks like a fluffy toy. When I draw close, the stubby ears buried in its fur twitch like a miniature radar antennas. The next question, why sleep out here, soon resolves itself. I see, it's definitely nice and cool here. Cats are knowledgeable about cool places, or so they used to say. As for Makina, I'd expect she was wandering around by herself as per usual, and grew exhausted and collapsed into sudden sleep on the spot. I watched the particularly gnawed apple on Makina's chest rise and fall with her breathing. She fell asleep in the middle of eating, just like a baby. I noticed that Makina's mouth is half open and dripping transparent drool. Not to mention her hair is a scruffy mess, the ribbon on her uniform is crooked, and she's wearing different socks on her left and right leg. What's with this girl? Oh yeah, she is black and... yeah, well... As I look down upon her, Makina suddenly snuffles noisily. What a weirdo. It's been a while since the last time I laughed at a woman's sleeping face. Even as I'm filled with the desire to keep watching, discomfort at the peaceful atmosphere of this place also wells up within me. At that moment, I sense someone watching me and look over to find that Makina's pillow cat has woken up and staring up at me in surprise. Voice line for the cat. Sorry to bother you, go back to sleep. Yeah, that's about 20 minutes in, so yeah, make sure to tune in for the next episode, probably up in a day or two. Yeah, thanks for watching.